Good morning, traders. This is my morning video. So I'm just going to go over a few things here that I'm seeing in the markets this morning. SPY initially this morning is rejecting the monthly pivot, despite a blowout numbers out of Amazon and Snap. Really bullish sentiment. But yeah, the Europe's selling off this morning, and the bullish uptrend we've been in since a little over a week, we are going to be opening outside of that bullish uptrend. So the markets are probably going to be indecisive here at the beginning, trying to decide whether or not to hold the current trend or break it back down and shop for cheaper prices. So just keep that in mind here on SPY. We're here right now. This is their bullish bearish cross. Uh, Easily could be broke here. The 200-day moving average is right below us, so I can definitely see us coming down and at the very least testing our 200-day moving average uh, on the SPY today. And honestly, if we start losing that 200-day moving average, it could be a very quick move back down to these prior lows. So you got a 50-week moving average down here, and then we have some monthly supports down here. Okay, so this is critical support areas on the monthly time frame. So if things were to start getting really scary today, that would be the bearish case. Okay, so I don't want to just you know things look a little broken here, but it's not the end of the world on that situation. I'm going to put up the VX futures here. Okay, so basically we're right into this monthly pivot on our VX futures here in a pre-market, trying to possibly cross bullish on our VX futures. So keep that in mind here. And we are technically in backwardation with 12 days left in these contracts. So that tends to be a more bearish scenario uh, to start the trading session. So just keep that in mind here. But like I said, we are trying to push out above our monthly pivot, but we are still below our weekly pivot. So we are above our daily, above our monthly, and we're below our weekly pivot so far this week. So they're not lined up. Typically, whenever they're in sync, lined up in order, it's just like moving averages. You can actually discern a trend. So because they're not lined up, I don't think you're really going to discern any type of trending situation in today's market. We will see going forward here, okay? So talked about that. Where's the Q's at? Q's, there you go. Q's. Okay, guys, we got a blowout quarter on Amazon. I do want to point out the big move on Amazon. A lot of that move was based off of they did a spin off this past quarter, and it was an IPO, and so they took in proceeds from that spinoff, and so that had a lot to do with their blowout numbers. So unlike yesterday when Facebook broke down, Facebook breaking down really rattled the markets. Okay, and Amazon, I don't think is going. They were making a big deal about Facebook being the biggest sell-off in history, and this morning they're trying to say Amazon's going to be the biggest gain in history. I don't think that Amazon was going to hold. So just keep that in mind going forward here into today's session. We are into a monthly support area to start Friday here, and we technically are breaking this trend on our Qs. So despite the really good numbers out of Amazon, they're already testing critical monthly support to start today's session into the week. So definitely, we're below our weekly 50 SMA, below our 200-day moving average. So this is pretty darn bearish to end the week. So everybody is all excited about Amazon, and I'm telling you, uh, yeah, I'm not so bearish on tech here. So um, definitely keep this in the back of your mind. So we are right down here, the white dotted line. That is our weekly cash set open. So we came in this week. That is our opening price. So if we were to lose that, then everything all falls apart. And we're not that far from there. I mean, we're 3 points lower, no, 52. We're about 2 points lower on the Qs. And we're going to be taking it, we're going to be testing the Monday open. So once that crosses, it could get pretty darn bearish here. So definitely keep that one on watch. IWN is the worst of the breed. It had a far less recovery, and it's coming down even faster. If you notice, I had to actually extend out my overall trend on that one because it's moving so fast up and down that you're not getting a longer term trend. I mean, it's basically it's bear flagging in a tighter range, so that suggests to you a much more bearish scenario here for the Russell. So definitely keep this one on watch here. We are below our monthly pivot by a ways. Okay, we're already back down to our. We've already broken our daily pivot, which I don't have that one on the chart, but we're back testing our weekly pivot. We're about to go bearish on IWM to start the session on a weekly pivot time frame. Definitely keep that on watch in today's session. I want to point out transports had a really good quarter. We're right down in here. The trend uptrend since I think it's FedEx, UPS reported had a really nice move up in our transports. But we are possibly testing a major supporting area, still hanging above our monthly pivot. Definitely a warning sign. I also want to point out, I don't have this on my watch list, but I'm going to put this on here. This is the big wake up call this morning. Ford. Ford is having a horrible time. Remember, European stocks are heavily weighted automotive, okay? And most of the European stocks are down today because of what's going on with Ford. And Ford is not successfully passing on the inflationary pressures to the end consumer, and that's being seen here. Okay, so this is our big worry for today. It's the whole inflation theme, and now that we got the mega tech behind us, now we're going into stocks next week that are all going to be have inflation risk. Okay. So, and the markets are, they look ahead in time, and everybody's wanting to look at what Amazon did. Well, Amazon's behind us now. Next week, the inflation pressure is going to be a problem. Okay. So I just want to float that real quick here. Okay, so I did VIX, that. I'm going to go through some of these. XLE is having a really good morning. That's the inflationary theme. So basically, XLE, because of the trim we've got going on here, we're in a fast move zone on our XLE. We're currently at $68. If the trend maintains, which every aspect says it's going to. It's above all of its simple moving averages on your daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. It's a very strong pattern. Range high, you got 75.30 area, 75 $76 area. That's your typical, oscillating range for XLE, and we're only at 68. So, very strong pattern here on XLE. That suggests that crude will be probably going, and we got a trend here, so we're probably going to have a continued strong move today in our energy sector. So, uh, so keep that in mind going forward here. Uh, I think it's going to be bad for tech, the energy sector being so strong and stuff. Uh, possibly be dipped down, but I'm thinking we're going to be closing up here at the 72, $73 area here today on XLE or on crude. So just heads up on that. I think we're going to finish the week off very strong here on our crude oil prices, going in $93 possibly for the close this week. So just keep that one on watch. Like I said, it looks like quite a bit of room left in our XLE, and if that's the case, it's all going in hand for $100 barrel here in the next week or two here on the whole crude oil space. If this is trading, going to play out here. So Boeing, I think industrials. Let's go to XLI if I can find it. There it is. XLI. See this. It's a relatively short dated uptrend we've had right here, breaking down this morning here on our XLI. So I think it's going to be bad for industrials today. I think Ford really get wake up call for a lot of these industrials. Even Boeing came out with relatively weak guidance whenever the markets weren't too impressed with it. So I think we're probably going to lose our monthly pivot on Boeing today, and it's going to start trending lower as well. So keep this one on watch. Yeah, Boeing looks like it might be going to be reverting down with most of the other industrials, in my opinion, in today's session. XLF, backbone of our markets. Okay, So uh, the shortest weekly trend here, we're breaking out of our shortest term week trend here. We're expanding to the downside, breaking our monthly pivot here. So a little bit more bearish here on our financials to open today's session. XLB, we actually had a breakdown in an earlier breakdown in XLB. I don't see the ticker. That's your uh, materials. Okay. So they just started breaking down Wednesday, or Thursday. Thursday we started seeing a breakdown in some of these material stocks. So uh, let's keep that one on watch here. Basic materials getting some that they're digesting. Companies not able to pass on these higher prices. So the you have to telegraph in out that these companies in basic materials are going to have a little bit harder time pushing on these prices. If these companies are just going to have to they're either going to have to absorb the cost, or they're going to have to find significant cost saving areas going forward here. Okay, and then I want to show the one that got really killed, XLC. That is your telecom, and that's heavily weighted Google, Amazon, Facebook. Facebook just destroyed that this week, all the way down here to the lows. Obviously, we're going to get a little bit up because of Amazon today. Initially, I don't know how long it'll last, but I'm just saying this thing here just really looking ugly. If you go out in the daily time frame here, this one here looks like it's preparing to break down. So, we're right down here, you know, clearly a head and shoulders pattern. So basically, this is your uh, left shoulder, right shoulder. We're right down here near the lows. Got a head up here. Uh, Really dangerous warning sign. If this thing breaks down, we're looking all the way down here to the 5750 area to complete the entire move. So basically, you can think of it this way: wherever Amazon, Google, Apple, or Amazon, Google, Facebook are right now, you're going to have to take another third off their prices to get a proper the next level reset. So if this thing is technically breaking down, that's what you got to do. So a haircut, a third haircut in Amazon possibly, if this thing does continue the trajectory here. Semis, where's SMH? I don't know here. There it is. All right, guys. SMH. Okay. So I was getting some warning signs yesterday on SMH. Let me go back here on the 1 hour. I don't remember if I drew a line. Yeah, I drew a line. So basically, we're into uh, a prior swing high. This is a prior swing high. Looking back on lower time frame, major resistance. So we're right into that prior swing high to open the session here on our SMH. This could be bullish. I mean, don't get me wrong, we are below our monthly pivot. The odds suggest that we're probably going to be coming back down to our 200-day moving average, which is right below us. Okay, so our 200-day is right below us, and then we have a monthly pivot above us. So between the two, I'd much rather lean towards the moving averages than to be taking out the pivots. But I don't know for sure. I mean, I just want to float that idea here going forward here. And then if you go down, AMD had a blowout quarter, or not? Yeah, AMD did, and it's just holding its monthly pivot. We got Nvidia coming up here in the not so distant future. Looks like Nvidia could go either way. They might want to hold monthly pivot, this week. I don't know, or it could be a breakdown pattern. On the weekly here, if you zoom in here, see Monday, see, that's a really ugly chart pattern, So this is your primary uptrend, you just cannot discern too much out of this pattern on a weekly time frame. It looks pretty darn weak to me, but I don't know. Maybe today we end up here. I don't know. It's really iffy here on our SMH here, or on Nvidia. I'm saying Tesla is having the best of the week. Still hanging in here. We are above our weekly pivot, below our monthly pivot, so it's not overly, and we're inside of we're below a quarter pivot too. So this is because we're below that quarter pivot, technically a little bit more bearish. Okay, so I do want to point that out going forward here. Uh, I don't have the moving averages on this one, do I? No. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't think I have any. There we go. And then, so bottom line is based on my charting, you see the down cycle we're in here. If this is putting in a possible breakdown, you know, bottom line is the 735 is my target. So 735, it looks like where it's trending to me, but so far today, this week, it's had a pretty good week. And you can draw a downtrend right here. This could be a breakout on Tesla. I do want to point that out. So basically, we've got it right here. This is what we got going on with Tesla. Okay. And, this was a critical swing high. It's acting as support right now going into the morning session. So basically, we want to look yesterday's lows. As long as we hold yesterday's lows, this is constructive to the upside, but we are below our monthly pivot, and we definitely want to keep that in the back of our mind. Okay. So I'm not going to be overly bearish, with the exception of maybe industrials. Industrials look like they're going to have a very weak day today. And so I do want to float that out there for all you guys. And the financials are looking pretty weak here. So financials and industrials look pretty darn weak. I don't really know what to tell you. And on the we got ZNs. So check those out real quick before I sign off here. And the ZNs here initially this morning looks like we are below our weekly pivot and our monthly pivot. So initially this morning looks like our yields are coming in a little bit, which that would be technically a little more bearish for financials if that were the case. So definitely it looks like they're trying to keep the yields suppressed this morning. So we'll see what happens here going into the close. But you can see here, we're in that really tight scenario here going into today's session. Initially, though, it does look like the yields are trying to come in a little bit this morning. So keep a really close eye on this going forward into today's session. Okay. Like the video if you like it. Please leave comments below on the YouTube channel, and if, stuff you're seeing that I'm not seeing. And so basically today, because a lot of the trends are broken, and we got the Europe technically on a sell signal today. I'm going to be really careful on my trading, even far more careful than normal, because this could be a chop Friday. Okay. We're in that situation. Do they really want to trend it? Do they not? And what you're seeing is a major warning signal in this market. When you have all-time market cap losses in Facebook one day, all-time market cap gains in Amazon, technically maybe the next day, this is a sign of extremely low liquidity in the market. It's a potential harbinger of major problems in the coming week or weeks, where this is a major warning sign that another bearish leg down in the markets can happen in a heartbeat, and we might see it today. So I just want to float that at you. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for listening. Oh yeah, you can follow me Gumby9662C on Twitter if you want to get my tweets.